People put themselves in crazy positions and you can see them nearly stressing, looking at their watch over a few seconds. Okay, if you lose 10, 15, 20 seconds, whatever, in the first mile, you have 20, 25 miles to make that up. It's all the nervous energy. You see it at the Dublin Expo as well. People come in and people come up to the pacer stand, and you could have somebody saying, "Can I have a 3-hour pace band and a 4-hour pace band?" And they just people get nervous and they don't know what they're meant to be doing. It's hard.
Jamie,
we've both done that. After
we
a couple
both.
of
I think I had
bands.
6 colours. It was like a rainbow on my wrist.
They don't work to get you into the Oasis mosh pit or whatever you want to do.
Jamie, with those bands, would it be better for people to just turn on their watch and turn it the other way, and then just have a look at the band every time they hit a mile marker, and then have a look at just time, elapsed time, as opposed to waiting for the beep every kilometre? Because the pacing bands are fantastic, especially when you get into the latter part of the race and you're like, what should I be at? And then the maths starts to happen. Now, the maths I actually like, because a kilometre could go by the time I calculate how fast I have to run to make it in by 2 seconds. And I'll probably still get the maths wrong. But is there little tricks to do with them bands? Because people are going to meet you at the expo. They're going to talk about it. And what other tips do you have about the maths of working it out on your own if they're not sticking with you?
Yeah, well, look, the maths is great if you can get it right. You can also go spectacularly wrong. And that can happen the later you go on into the marathon, the more tired you are. I definitely would recommend pace bands. We as pacers use them because, again, as we talked about here, the Garmin, for any number of reasons, any number of things can happen with a Garmin in terms of you're not running the race line. Your Garmin could stop getting reception. Someone could knock off it, it could stop or whatever. So we always use the pace bands to check off our mile markers. We're hitting them at certain times as well. So I definitely would recommend them. It does take an element of that maths out. You're running with a pacer or not running with a pacer, you could write in stuff onto the pace bands, like where you want to take your gels or where the water stations are, so you can have taking more of the mental stuff out of it, right? So that's really handy. There'll be pace bands at the expo the days before, and that's also a chance to meet the pacers as well and have a chat with them. It's always great to kind of strike up a conversation with the pacers. They'll get to know you then, and that makes it a bit easier. If they know your name or whatever during the marathon, you're having a bit of a tough time later on, they'll kind of go, I met this person yesterday, I met them earlier on, or struck up a conversation with them or whatever. I can slag them about something here, kind of get them going a little bit, like Anne was saying earlier, the kind of mind tricks, you know what I mean? A bit of crack around that. It deviate a bit from the pace bands there, but that's kind of a little bit of a trick around that.